Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. This Fat Guys on a Little Podcast. As always, your co-host Steve Markey, and always joined by
Charles is here.
And today we have back in studio the degenerate gambler / Halloween expert himself.
Welcome back,
Burt Nolan.
I was going to say good to be here, but I don't know about that now.
Trust me, I know a degenerate gambler because I am a degenerate gambler. First, Burt, how did you do on your local MSU Michigan football squares?
I did all well. I made my money back plus some. How about you?
I didn't win a goddamn thing. Wait, on the ones you gave me, you won your money back?
I did.
You hit that one you shared with that lady.
You are correct.
Wait, what's the?
He didn't win one on his own.
So wait, is it like Super Bowl squares?
Yeah, for MSU in Michigan. All the degenerates he works with, they run a pool. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Degenerates he might know, not work with.
Right. Yeah. Illegal gambling in the school district.
Yeah, that just got Burt fired.
For some reason, it's frowned upon.
So don't worry, though. I don't think anybody at your school district's listening to this podcast. So you're good to go.
And you didn't play in the $2 squares, but I won on one of those.
Oh, okay. How much you win quarter for the $2 square?
$50.
And what was 5?
125, and then $250 for the 10.
Oh man, that'd been nice. A little chunk of change.
And this is on top of the lotto squares or whatever you guys do.
Oh yeah, we do a daily lotto. We do a lotto 47 draw.
You guys are next level.
How many Lotto 47 tickets you guys end up buying there?
I think the pool's up to like $750 right now.
Wow. I mean, are you playing for the Mega Millions now?
Oh, Mega Millions, yeah. We had 100 tickets.
Yeah, Michelle at work, she had 52 tickets. She won $10.
We won 4.
Oh, well, I got to tell Michelle she's ahead of you guys. I won $2. I had the Powerball ticket.
I don't think we got anything.
Yeah, I didn't get anything either on mine, yeah.
You guys will know...
1.6 billion on Tuesday.
The listeners will know if we hit the lotto because you'll never hear this podcast again. It'll all be gone. But, yeah. So, one of the things I want to bring up, it is Sunday. It's football. Burt, one thing you love Fan Duel, right?
I do.
How you doing on that?
Shitty.
Yeah, you joined the club.
Yeah.
Well, because like DraftKings and FanDuel was huge for a while, and then it's kind of died off because they like regulated them and did everything else.
The Fan Duel still does all right. You sent us one just for the Sunday night game. That was a different one?
Yeah, I don't get into the expensive pots in the Fan Duel.
Yeah.
You can play the cheap ones, which is $1 or $5 at the most. Usually, what I go into, but.
He sends me. The only ones I play is ones he sends me a link to. I'm like, okay, I'll play.
And I don't even win those. So
yeah, he finishes behind me and his woman.
yeah. My girlfriend beats me. Our buddy Bill in Chicago beats both of us. It's pointless why I play, but I still.
Bill
play.
secretly follows a lot of insider stats and stuff still, so don't let him fool you.
He's a degenerate gambler.
Yeah, Bill's just as big a degenerate gambler as me and Burt.
Talking to you, BB.
Yeah,
FanDuel, if you go on there, it keeps your record of since you've signed up.
yeah, I'm 4-10.
Oh, are you?
That's stellar.
I'm 53 and 228.
He's played a little longer than I have, but I'm not so great either. He sent me that hockey one. I wanted to play that hockey one, but it seemed to fall through. Like if you have to,
I'm not sure why that got canceled.
Yeah, you have to have so many people sign up. Like if you make a game and if not enough fill the quota, they cancel the game on you. Or they make it not worth money. So it's kind of weird.
So FanDuel's adjusted. You don't play throughout like the individual weeks. Is it all the games you do just a game? I don't understand.
You can't. Well, they got options.
Oh, okay. But
it's week to week, so you don't pick a team in September and have the same team in October.
Yeah.
So you can bet. You can bet on like all the Sunday games and pick a team from that, or you can bet just on Thursday night hockey or college football on Saturday, like just one game or all the games. So they got a pretty large. Variety. Apparently, Bert's pulling out some notes right now.
What the hell just happened?
I don't know.
He's gonna pass you "I love you" notes. What the hell is that?
So don't you worry about it.
Oh, okay, he's got notes. We're good to go.
Wow.
So there you go
for the podcast.
A little look at FanDuel, what all us degenerates do. And anyone out there want to get in with us on a couple games, let us know. We'll be more than happy.
Yeah, I'll send you invites.
It sounds like they really want you in there, so you'll lose to them.
And then Bert's probably pissed at me because Burt was originally he was emailing me the links, and then he started texting me the links. And I hate doing the FanDuel on the phone where I got a nice big computer, so I bitched to him and said, "Hey, can you send me an email again?"
Yeah, but doesn't it just link to your account? Just do it in one spot and open it in the other.
Yeah, it
Yeah, but
opens it
he's
up
got
on the phone.
sausages for fingers,
Yeah,
so he doesn't like using.
I
the
don't like
phone.
using my
He
phone.
also has a phone that only works on every other Wi-Fi network. You cheap ass.
because it's 2018.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
pay
checkbox.
$8 a month, and it
You
only
can either
works
send
on
a
like my
text or an
grandma's
email.
Wi-Fi.
Send an email,
Like,
goddamn
dude,
it.
get a real phone.
No. Why? Pay more money.
No one uses computers anymore.
He's gonna stand on his roof with a metal coat hanger
Yeah,
to get a
I
signal.
mean-
You don't use computers? How do you edit the videos for this?
Well,
It's not
okay,
a
so that's
podcast.
one thing, but most people like check
No one gets emails
and all that
Well,
kind of
you
stuff.
know what? I don't
No,
care.
everyone gets it on their phone.
Send me a link. Send me a link.
Yeah, 1980 called. They want their technology
I don't
back.
want to live on my phone.
Well, then don't bitch when people do.
I wasn't bitching. I told them to send me the link on email. God damn it. So there you go. There's a look at Fan Duel.
And the fact that you're stuck in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the 80s. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a little bit of a taste test, but Charles already ruined.
Yeah, I've had these already, full disclosure, but I have opinions for sure.
These are the Taco
You
Bell.
don't like him, I can tell.
I know, something tells me we're about to get something mouthful of nasty here. Bert. These are based, I guess they're based on the actual sauce that Taco Bell serves.
So I like the fire sauce. That's the main sauce
do
I
I.
like. It's got like a good chipotle taste to it. It's not just heat, and it's pretty good.
a couple of those here.
Let me try first.
Yeah, I will let Bert be the
Yeah,
big
get it
one.
in there, Bert.
Yeah, let's try it.
So
Well, I didn't think you were
I've
gonna take
only
that many.
seen these at 7-Eleven. I've
They
yet
are
to see
red.
them.
Look
Yeah.
at those. Jeez.
Give me that. Get on that. Crunch on that, Bert.
A little stale.
They're not stale. This is exactly the way mine tasted. So I don't think
they're
they're stale.
They naturally
yeah.
taste stale.
They're not a Dorito. They're not a Dorito product. So you're just used to a Dorito product. This tastes like a bad store chip that's covered in
Yeah.
like oddly not hot.
Not hot at all.
Yeah,
At all.
Yeah. So like the fire sauce will get has a little kick to it. It's chipotle in taste and has kick. These have like the littlest kick and they just taste kind of gross.
So
I was not a fan of these.
So Dorito just gave the makers of those a batch of stale chips. To put some
yeah,
stuff on it.
it's like store brand Doritos is what I
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
I
These
just
are like
am not a fan of these.
The chips that Taco Bell don't sell at the end of the day. They throw in the bag.
They crushed up the taco shells from the spicy tacos.
Because even to your point, like the chips at Taco Bell are kind of really crunchy and whatever. Like these are thicker and taste kind of stale. I
Yeah.
hated them. I was not a fan.
Not much flavor. The sauce flavor is not there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're super salty tasting too. You guys got like that salt
yeah,
taste.
I'm
in your
definitely gonna
mouth.
give those to my daughter. I don't want
Yeah.
those.
So again, Taco Bell fire chips for me is a big pass. I
Big
don't,
thumbs down for that turd sandwich of a chip right
yeah, I
there.
don't know. Here, Bert,
No, I don't want any more.
I'll fold these up. and put it-
Same for Holly though. She loves fiery stuff. so-
Taki chips are better.
Yeah,
than
they're
those.
not
Have
like
you tried
Takis.
the Takis?
Yeah, they're not like flaming hot though. They have like a weird. Like,
I know, but I just want to see Holly's face when she bites into a couple of those.
Yeah, I'm not
Well,
a
that
fan.
was disgusting.
Yeah, they're a big disappointment. And store chips is what they remind, like the Kroger brand Doritos.
Yeah. Gross. All right.
Glad to be a part of that.
No, you have nothing to drink either. You're screwed on that one. Just sit there for another hour with that taste in your mouth. So, in honor of Burt being here, and in a couple weeks, Halloween itself is coming out. Is coming. So we thought we'd cover some horror movie based stuff and some different things. Burt,
What does the notes tell you?
Burt's got
Some
his horror
upcoming
movie notes.
movies.
He
Oh,
came
okay.
prepared.
Man.
Before we cover the upcoming ones, do a recap of the original Halloween, Burt. What happened in the original Halloween?
A killer walked around killing people.
Yeah, he
In
killed.
a painted William Shatner mask.
Yeah, he killed.
Yeah.
He killed his sister, right? And then he went after a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah, Michael Myers is like one of the original, what do you call it, slasher films created in 1978. I think it came out 79 maybe. He's when it hit the mainstream, but classic slasher. He's a little kid, killed his sister when he was, I don't know, 7 years old or something, when institutionalized, and then he broke out when he was a full-grown adult. Went back to his neighborhood trying to chase down his sister again, because he didn't, or not his sister, his
Sister's friends.
nah.
So,
there
but
was-
what he's described, he has no supernatural powers at this point. He's just a psychopath. is what
Correct,
It sounds like
correct.
to me.
Okay, keep that in mind when I talk about the new one.
Okay, yeah.
Well, where they went, I think where they went with the series, the original series, is the first one was made.
Isn't there like that main cop guy, like the bald guy or something
He's the
like that? In the
Yeah,
trench coat?
Donald
Oh,
Pleasance.
sorry. Yeah, okay.
Plays the
Wow, you knew the name.
Loomis.
That's impressive.
Professor Loomis,
Who we talking?
Dr. Loomis, whatever. And Well, the original was made. John Carpenter, I think, created the original, whatever. I think it made so much. It had so much hype around it when it came out. Obviously, because it's so early in '70s, it was mainstream of someone killing people on Big Picture or whatever. But I don't think they intended on making any sequels to it. But because it was such a success of the movie in that era, they came out with a second one. And even then, the second one, it ended. I mean, they ended the second one. He blows up in a hospital. They catch him on fire.
People don't mind the second Halloween, like the OG original second Halloween. People are not a problem with it. Yeah.
And they end up they kill Michael Myers in that movie per se on the screen. And I think they ended the series originally. I think that came out in the early '80s. Then Michael Myers was done. They weren't going to make another Halloween at that point. Well, they came out with Halloween 3, which I think I've talked about before. It was the biggest piece of turd.
It had nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Because they killed off Michael Myers. He was
so
done.
What do we do now? We have a Halloween franchise. We got to do something.
Well, at the end of the 80s, maybe 7 years later, I think the hype came up, horror hype came up again, and Michael Myers was kind of reinvented, and they came out with Halloween 4, and they pretty much resurrected him, but they had to come up with a reason of how, because like I said, they killed him off in the second one, so they had to come up with some way to bring him back, saying he wasn't dead or whatever, and they kind of went in a different direction of druid religious things, and kind of made him more of a I don't want to say necessarily supernatural, but kind of like a cult.
I already turned my brain off.
Correct, and
So
that's kind of where they went with it, and then he became this figure where you can't kill him, and he's more than human. He's pure evil, and by the end of the original saga, I think they made 7 of them. Jeez. He was pronounced like pretty much the devil in skin, walking and killing people. I mean, they're good. You got to be a horror fan, obviously, and like that kind of movie. But I mean, they're well made for what they are back in that day, back in that era, and everything. And even some of the newer ones that came out were decent.
So what's the Rob Zombie remade the OG original one?
Correct.
Is that the Rob Zombie one?
1 and 2. He made
so
part
now
1 and 2.
The one that's coming out in the theater that just came out, that's a continuation of the original 2, or that's a remake of the original 1?
I can tell you because I saw it.
I want to say it's a remake or a continuation of just the original first one. It's the continuation.
So the second one has
never existed.
Okay.
This is him breaking out of the insane asylum, correct?
Yeah. So everything Burt just said, forget about when it comes to the sequel.
Everything after the OG original is gone.
The original 70s one, he killed his sister, got locked up, got out, killed all of Jamie Lee Curtis's friends. And Jamie Lee Curtis, I can't remember her name in the movie. Do you know?
Laurie Strode.
Laurie Strode. God damn, that guy is good. Well, Laurie doesn't die, and he gets locked up and put away. Now, this movie that currently came out 2018 that I went and saw.
We get it. You saw it. Stop mentioning it. He says it one more time on a vomit.
sorry. So Michael Myers is in a insane asylum for 40 years. He doesn't talk. Now, he's not supernatural. He doesn't have super strength or anything like that. He's sedated. He's got chains on. Yep. The movie starts with 2 reporters coming to see him, wanting to do an interview with him. But
years after the fact.
Years after. This is 40 years
So,
later.
yeah, I was going to say, it's not acting like it's still... Because Jamie Lee Curtis aged and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, forget the Rob Zombie movies. Forget H2O. Forget
the
1
OG
through,
came
2 through
out.
4.
This one came out part 2.
This is part 2. That's officially what they did.
Now, does John Carpenter or whatever have anything to do with this newest one?
He is. He's a producer. And interesting, one of the writers on this movie is Danny McBride.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's bound and down. Got to write some of this movie.
So, with the age timeline, how old is Michael Myers in this movie?
He's 70-something.
Yeah, I was going to say. Cause
he's standing there. He's a tall guy. And it's the original guy, I guess, from the original movie. They never show his face, but they show the back of his head. It's just straight white hair, short white hair.
So they kind of did that correct, because if they would have made him like a 35-year-old guy.
Yeah.
He didn't age while he was in the insane asylum.
Now, we'll keep that in mind. He's 70-something years old, and he's not supernatural. All right, so keep that in mind. So in the meantime...
Because Steve saw it.
Yeah, because Steve saw it.
You did see the new one, right?
Yeah, I did see it. I think. So the past 40 years, Jamie Lee Curtis has gone Laura Stroud or whatever, Laurie Stroud.
She went a little kooky, right?
She went Sarah Connor.
Oh, so she's just been sharpening knives the whole time.
She's got a room full of shotguns.
She's swole.
Well, not really.
Okay.
She's not swole. She's just old. She's got a giant compound with a privacy fence with like an electric gate.
So it just affected her.
She's got floodlights.
Yeah.
And I guess she's been through 2 divorces. She has a daughter. And then she trained her daughter to be a killer, too.
Because you never know when he's coming back.
Right. PTSD right there.
Yeah. In her kitchen, she's got a trap door. She hits the button. Whole counter moves. And you go down into this, like, safe
She's ready
room.
for him. She's
ready for him. And in the safe room is just loaded with guns and ammunition and stuff. And then all around her house is booby traps and everything.
Okay.
So she's ready. She's ready. She knows this guy's going to break out.
At some point, he's getting out of the insane
For 40 years, she's been...
Yeah. She could have took her time and just attacked and killed this guy in the insane asylum. But okay, here we are. We need a premise.
So now there's a new doctor because the actor who played the original doctor died in real life. So
the guy in the trench coat. That's who it is.
Dr. Donald Pleasant.
So there's a new doctor, gray-haired guy.
He is a doctor that's supposed to know how to talk to Michael Myers?
Yes.
Is that
that's what this guy is.
Yeah.
But here's the big thing of the movie. Michael Myers don't talk. And that they made a big stress on it. He won't say nothing. The reporters want him to say something. The doctor never says anything. So the government is closing down this facility, and they're going to transfer all the nutbags from this facility to the new state-run one. Of course, it happens to be on Halloween Eve, because that's when you're going to transfer a nut guy that kills everybody.
Steve's phone apparently does work.
Right, yeah.
Yelling about the Fan Duel, but it does work because he forgot to mute it.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. It's Bill, of all people.
Yeah, great.
So of course the bus flips over somehow. They don't show you that.
He's gonna get out.
Yeah. Now mind you, he's a 70-year-old man chained up
psychopath
on a bus. Somehow gets out of his chains. The bus wrecks and he kills three armed security guards. They don't show how, but they're all laying around broken necks and stuff.
Okay. So
that's pretty strong for a 70-year-old guy. So he gets out and then he's randomly walking through neighborhoods. Now it's been 40 years. He has no idea where Jamie Lee Curtis's character lives. He has no idea she has a daughter, no idea she has a granddaughter. So he just goes from house to literally he's going through back doors of houses after house after house, just murdering people. And it's pretty good. You'd like that, Burt. There's some good good killing scenes.
Does it take place in Haddonfield?
Yes.
So Jamie Lee Curtis never moved?
No, she never moved.
She stayed local.
Makes sense.
She knows where the Whole Foods is.
Because
she needs to know.
Her theory is she's going to kill him. She's the one destined to kill him. So then Jamie Lee Curtis gets word that he's out. So she jumps in her old pickup truck with her 12 gauge. She's driving around town with a police scanner just wanting to kill this guy. And by the way, this is spoilers. I'm going to ruin this whole movie for people. It's not a bad movie. It's just some of it's like, really? But in his killing spree, he kills multiple armed police officers and multiple grown men. I understand the teenagers, right? But there's a scene. So anyways, he's murdering people, and he ends up murdering one of Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter's friend, and that's how it links. That's how he coincidentally starts finding Jamie Lee Curtis's house, her compound. And then when he gets to the compound, there's 2 armed cops in the front of the compound, and he's standing in front of there. 2 armed cops come at him with a gun and lights. They don't show it, but somehow he murders both cops.
Oh, so they just avoid showing you how the 70-year-old man works on all these people.
Yeah. And a lot of, except for the teenagers. They show him mutilating the teenagers. And there's a plot twist with the doctor. It's pretty stupid, but I'm not going to ruin it here. I'll let people find that out. So you got this compound, and it's on lockdown, and she's got her daughter and I think her son-in-law in the compound. The granddaughter, meanwhile, is running around the forest somewhere. And Michael Myers finds the compound. So, naturally, what would you do in this compound? Would you leave it well lit so he couldn't hide anywhere? No, not Jamie Lee Curtis. She turned all the lights off in the house.
Because she knows the compound, so she knows the ins and outs.
Well, it didn't work for her. She almost got murdered like 18 times.
Okay.
But in the meantime, in this movie, he gets his hand blown off, he gets shot in the shoulder, and
if
he gets
you're
shot
going to
in the
sit
neck.
here and try to analyze a horror movie...
I know. But it's
just,
so... Maybe I'm older and more jaded.
Yeah.
It's just like... And then it ends...
You just don't like horror movies.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, there were some good murder scenes in it, though. You'll enjoy that, Burt. And but in the end...
act like I'm John Wayne Gacy or something. What do you mean I'll enjoy those murder scenes?
Well, I mean...
You'll enjoy the death and destruction.
I mean, that's why you see a horror movie, right? You want to see some good murder scenes. And it has that...
Burt watches them for TNA.
It's done...
Old school.
The video. I mean, the acting's pretty good. The filming is good. They do a lot of nostalgic things, like the credits kind of look like it's on a VHS tape. You know,
Okay, great.
They do a lot of good things. It's just some of the story.
I'm ready to give you $10 to see this motion picture.
I wouldn't. I'd wait for Blu-ray, but it was okay. And and they leave it, the ending. He kind of dies, but not really die. You don't know how he dies. So
Jamie Lee Curtis made a big thing. She came out and said that in this movie, she had a big input in like how the gun violence was supposed to go on. She wanted to make sure that in this motion picture that all the gun violence was in result of self-defense. Like so apparently Michael Myers doesn't shoot anyone or whatever.
Well, no, he
never has.
He never has.
So she wanted to make a whole point that like guns.
Well, that
are
makes no sense because she's traveling around town with a gun in her hand trying to kill him.
I'm just telling you. Like, I read a big article that was like a big requirement for her to tag.
Well, that's my thing too. She has all these plans planned out, and they all go to crap. I mean, Michael Myers still gets in the house. He still almost kills her. He goes up in one room and hides. So you're like, yeah, she knows the place. But then she's the one walking around all scared with a gun going, where is he? Where is he? So now he's never been to this house, but he knows exactly where to hide, so she can't find him. It's so retarded in some of these parts. So 6 out of 10 maybe. I don't know. If you're a diehard horror movie fan, I think you should probably see it. There's so many things. The killing of all the cops, armed cops, and he's a 70-year-old man, not supernatural, kind of annoyed me a little bit. I'll be honest with that. It's like, I mean, the teenagers I get because they're scared and whatever, but a cop with his gun out and a flashlight, and somehow Michael Myers got the jump on him.
I think you're just stuck up on why horror movies get us on.
Well, and there's another point where Jamie Lee Curtis and her daughter is in the safe house under the stairs, and they hear Michael Myers walking. They don't ever call the cops. They both have cell phones on them. No one.
They have your service and it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, apparently so. Well, you think you'd have a landline because
they're looking for a laptop to get out real fast.
She'd have a landline because she's been planning for 40 years.
Get to go.
So I don't. If you turn off your brain and just enjoy some flashy movies,
do.
But there you go. There's a look at Halloween. So on top of that movie, what are some other horror movies, Burt, you think we should check out? Because you are
any of the slasher movies. I mean, that's just the genre. If you like that genre, if you like the Halloween, you like the slasher, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Leatherface,
but they get
Freddy
so
Krueger.
The Friday the 13th movies got so
again
crazy.
They go too far with them.
Yeah, that's the
they extend
issue.
them too far.
when he zipped up the sleeping bag and smacked that girl against
Classic,
the tree.
classic.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. That was
Well,
supposed to be a
and that's the
horror
thing
movie.
about the Friday the 13th, the originals. I mean, they went into more comedic, like screen shots of different things going on. But I mean, any of those slasher movies are good to watch on Halloween. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, it depends on if you want gore, if you want fright, or whatever you're looking for. I mean, I did bring a list of movies upcoming that I know Steve would love. to go
let's check these out.
So these have missed the window of the Halloween
Oh yeah,
release?
they're not even coming out until next year.
Oh, okay.
Happy Death Day 2 is coming out.
Yeah, that is
That
coming
movie
out.
is terrible. That first one.
It Part 2, the sequel to It is
yeah.
coming out next
I
year.
was not a fan of that. I don't like.
That was okay.
So the last time you were on here, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, was the reason why the first Strangers one, your big recommendation off the last time you were here, was so good, was because it didn't add supernatural elements. To me, it's just like what makes these movies good is if they're played for real. Like you put yourself in this like, holy crap, this could happen to me kind of thing.
Which is what one on the top one on my list is called Escape Room.
I saw they had a preview for that in front of the movie.
So that takes place. Obviously, normal people are just going to one of these things that are big.
And then it gets real or something like that. Yeah.
There's probably someone in it. It doesn't really tell you what happens to them.
But now,
But they go a little far in the trailer. You see, one part of the escape room is like a giant forest. It's like, how did they section off a forest inside of an escape room?
Right.
They might go a little far in that one.
Nightmare on Elm Street's doing a reboot. They're coming out with a new one.
Is it Haley? What's that guy's name? He was on Watchmen. Little creepy guy. The guy I played the last Nightmare on Elm Street. Is he playing Freddy again?
I don't believe so. I think
Robert Englund's in
Kevin
that?
Bacon is slated to be the Freddy Krueger.
Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, Kevin
where's
Bacon.
Robert England or whatever his name
Well,
is?
he's probably in a wheelchair. I don't know if Freddy
He's gonna be on the Goldbergs.
And then someone came out this year that I missed is they did a reboot of Hellraiser. Came out in early January, so it must have been straight to like crap.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about
But
that.
I'll have to check that one out. And then He's Out There looked really good. Kind of a supernatural guy. He's chasing people around in the wilderness. So
What about the ones that came out this year? Like I saw, did you see the movie The Nun or whatever that came out?
I did not. I'm not big on possession movies.
Like the religious horror movies are not your thing?
I mean, back in the day, I checked out Amityville just because of the rage around it.
I saw the one with Ryan Reynolds. Is that the one you're talking about?
Well, I've seen the original, and yeah, Ryan Reynolds is the reboot.
Yeah.
They're okay. Nothing crazy about it. Like, you don't have to rush out and see them or anything. But yeah, I'm not big on the supernatural, like the what do you call it? The stupid floaty camera type movies, Blair Witch type movies. I can't stand.
I
can't stand those.
The Blair Witch and your Strangers movies are the top two.
You like the original
movies.
Blair Witch?
I think the original Blair Witch is great.
I'm done with the show.
Yeah, that's great.
I agree with you, Bert. I can't stand
I like
it.
it. I think it was great.
Nothing happens. The guy standing.
It was super
at
original, and yeah, I thought it was super good.
That and Cloverfield could both.
I thought
just never
someone
seen
came
again.
up with an original premise, and it was cool. I thought it was really cool for the time.
I can't think of the series that they have like 6 of them where it's like a camera in their house and they're watching for ghosts and stuff.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, those are horrible. I want to vomit every time one comes out.
Yeah.
I heard they might make a Poltergeist series, like out of Netflix or an Amazon. I always get nervous when it's a horror series because, well, I'll explain later. But
for me, horror is like comedy. Few and far between you get a really good horror movie. Just like comedies, you come out with all these comedies, and I think most of them are crap. Very seldom do I go to see a comedy in the theater where I actually bust out laughing out loud. Or like Hangover was probably one of the most recent ones that I thought was really well done, comedic, like entertaining movies. Steve and I have gone to a few movies.
Oh, they're terrible.
And we walk out wondering why we even paid money for these. Like, oh my God, these are bad. And horror movies are the same way. They come out with so many of them, and the person is trying to make that next big hit, and most of them fall short, unfortunately. I mean, I like the Saw series. But again, those aren't
You
horror.
like the Eli Roth Hostel stuff too.
Those aren't horror. Those are
like ripping people's eyeballs out.
Yeah,
like it shows you like how crazy the effects are now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but again, those are the things that it could happen. Like those, that's what makes you cringe because you could get your arm.
You could
cut.
get a syringe in your eyeball.
Right.
Kind of thing, yeah.
You're not chasing down a guy that can't be killed. You're in a situation that could happen to you. That's what is frightening about it.
So, like after Halloween, you taking trick or treating. You're at home. She's in bed. You're gonna watch a horror movie because it's Halloween. What is the horror movie go to every year that Bert likes to watch, just to reminisce or even just?
Because like I watch Christmas Vacation and A Christmas Story every Christmas.
Yeah, and I watch Star Wars at Thanksgiving, even though I own all of them. So, what does Bert turn on for Halloween just to sit back and relax while it's on? Don't say 90210.
Oh, classic. Beautiful series. Actually, right now I've been watching the original Halloweens. I think we're on part 6 right now, or H2O.
You own them all?
I do own them all, yeah.
Wow. How many movies is that in total for Halloween?
I think they made 8 of them.
Jeez.
They got through H2O, then Resurrection. And then Rob Zombie made 2 reboots, which...
I saw the first one.
Not bad. First one's not bad.
Second one goes off the rails. I don't know what he did.
Yeah,
in the
second one I would not recommend. The Rob Zombie Halloween Part 2.
I don't know what drugs he was on when he made that second one. It had nothing to do. It was weird.
Yeah, he's walking through a field grunting and moaning, and that one. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one I would recommend.
Yeah, you
for
said
Halloween.
that before. I had to watch those. So, before we get to the Netflix series, Charles said we both watched your recommendation last time, The Strangers.
Yeah, that's an excellent horror movie.
It was pretty good. I mean, even
the sequel is terrible.
I didn't mind the sequel.
The sequel's terrible. Because again, it gets into that trappings of the first one turned out to be really good, and there's some loopholes in the first one that happens, like with the cell phone usage and stuff like that, like a little weird. But they have their weird answers of like they took it off the. Right. But then like the friend shows up and didn't call, and it was a little weird, but still a good. I thought it was a very good horror movie for what it was. The second one, it's like typical horror movie where like now they got a bigger budget. And then it gets now it's like, who are these 3 people in the truck? And it just gets crazy. And I'm like, okay, it's a little much now. But the first one's great.
Yeah, I like the first one. Holly came in and out while I was watching it. And she has a big fear of like people attacking or like beating on the doors or whatever. When me and Michelle aren't home. So that's like,
Now
along
you
with
told me that, I know what I'm doing.
along with escalators, people like coming to the house when she's the only one home just freaks her out. That's all the strangers did. They did that through half that movie. So Holly walking, go, oh no, walk right out. So escalators and beating on doors when no one's home scares the hell out of her.
So,
but it was a good
so
movie.
when Holly's home alone, I should go over there.
She'll crap her pants.
Home.
Well,
Start beating on windows.
one of the worst times ever is that we set our alarm. I did it on accident during the summer when Holly was home. And it has a motion detector inside the house. So she started moving around. It went off. So the alarm went off while she's home. She thought someone was coming through the front door of the house. She's in the back calling her grandfather crying. I traumatized my daughter on accident. Yeah, so yeah, she's not cool with this. But The Stranger is good. Spoiler, I don't like that they live Tyler live at the end. That was kind of cheesy. But other than that, it was a good movie. Low budget, but they did a lot even with their low budget.
It's a clever idea.
Yeah, sometimes horror movies, I give credit to horror movies. They make the best out of a low budget situation.
Oh, yeah.
Horror movies can really do something even with not much of a budget. Like superhero movies, if you don't have a big budget, it's going to be a turd. That's all there is to it. But with horror movies, you don't really need...
I think Lou Ferrigno would disagree.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to get a painted green guy with Bill Bixby running around. So, yeah, horror movies don't need a big... Because you also got the Evil Deads. They all had low budgets.
Oh, yeah.
And the Friday the 13th, when they started, were low budget. So, you know, some Halloween...
I would argue that when they get the sequels, they get a bigger budget and they lose like the
Yeah.
heart of
The
it.
concept.
Yeah.
They lose the concept of it.
So, there you go. So, again, to get into the festivities of Halloween, on Netflix, there's a very, very high-reviewed show called...
People are loving it, yeah.
They love it, called The Haunting of the Hill House. So I thought, well, I'm going to watch this just to get into, you know... I don't know what these people watch. It is 10 episodes, so there's that. It should be 3. Basically, the concept is, it's back in the late 70s, early 80s, a family of 5 siblings, a mother and a father, buy a big giant house somewhere on the East Coast. I think it's in Massachusetts. And they're going to fix up the house and flip it and buy their dream house. Well, they didn't know that the house is haunted. But that doesn't sound like too bad of a concept, but that's not what you get. This is not a horror show. I don't know why people think it...
But that's the same premise of The Conjuring, I want to say.
It's probably the same premise.
I hated that movie.
Yeah, but
It's
that's
the same
the
premise
same
of
premise.
Amityville
They
Horror.
just bought a big house.
It's the same premise of 1,000 different horror movies. But here's the problem. The show is only 5% horror and 95% family drama like This Is Us. So you're dealing with...
So who killed Jack? Is that what happened
well,
to Jack?
the one brother's a heroin addict, so you're dealing with him.
Yeah,
the
wow.
one sister is a
She's got eating
lesbian.
issues. Yeah.
Is a lesbian that can't communicate with people or something. She's not a people person, but yet she's a psychiatrist. The other sister is still loony and sees things at night. So it's all. So, and then another tactic this show does is they time jump. So they're kids, they're not kids. And then even when they time jump in the present, so they jump back a month or they jump back. So you never know what timeline you're watching.
They're confusing you based on
yes,
timeline.
and it's annoying and a cheap trick. And all the scares, here's like in the first episode, the only scare in the first episode, they're trying to get at a door and it's locked, and there's supposed to be nobody in the room. And then here's the big scare, you see a shadow under the door. That was it. That was the only scare in the first episode. Mesmerizing stuff, wasn't it? So that's an example.
Doesn't sound good.
Oh, it was terrible.
How did it look? Did it look great in 4K and all that kind of stuff? Because Netflix 4K stuff looks really nice.
It looked fine, but it was just people standing around in houses talking. It wasn't like
there's nothing to watch.
You weren't seeing no ghosts or anything. Out of the 10 episodes, 2 episodes, the 5th one where the youngest girl kills herself, she goes back to the house.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm spoiling the crap out of this show because no one should ever watch it. It is terrible. So the 5th episode, the girl hangs herself. The ghost kind of convinced her to hang herself. That was a pretty good episode. And then it's either the 8th or 9th episode where they show why the mom went crazy and killed herself. Other than that, it's take your, like I told Charles beforehand, take your slowest Stephen King movie and stretch it out 10 hours. That's what it was, and it was terrible. I don't know what those people saw because some of the reviews were, it was so scary I passed out. Yeah. I passed out from boredom. I passed out because I was scared. But yeah, so
someone said something about how they were in a car driving, and then she turned to look, and then someone was in between them or something like that. There was like some lame jump scare.
It was the 2 sisters were arguing.
Okay.
Anytime the family members argue, a random ghost would pop up,
okay.
and the ghost was the little sister who
Breeds
killed
on your
her.
hate.
It's the little sister that killed herself. She showed up like a zombie, goes ah, and then they just drive off the road. But that's it. Then they get out of the truck and talk to each other.
Did you have the lights turned off and set the mood and everything?
If I turned the lights off, I would have fell asleep. I'm going to be honest. Stay away from The Haunting on the Hill House. Netflix. It is not scary. I don't care what anyone's talking about. It is a piece of trash.
Wow.
I hate it. At 2 out of 10. And I'll give you 2 because episode 5 and 8 were okay.
Well, it's like the American Horror Story series. That's not scary. That's not a horror either.
Oh, I've never really watched it. I'll be honest. The Walking Dead and that show we watched, The Strain, were scarier than this. And those shows aren't scary at all either.
No, The Strain was good up to season 3.
Yeah, it jumped the shark pretty bad.
Is that a FX show? What?
Yeah, it was. It was about basically replace zombies with vampires.
Oh, okay.
But dumb vampires, not like your smart, like manipulating ones. Like the vampires are almost like monsters, right?
They were. Well, the problem is they kind of went off the premise of how they became them, like the little wormy things, and all of a sudden they didn't use the wormy things anymore. And it was like
it changed stories by halfway through. But yeah, the stupid vampire monsters taking over New York City is pretty much what The Strain was. And Burt just got off to the line. So this time of year, we're getting some new series. The Connors debuted. And now the other one, I did see the first episode. I didn't care for it. Charles did. The kids are all right. Charles, what do you want to talk about?
So
this?
Abraham from The Walking Dead is basically...
I had to look that up. I was like, where have I seen this guy?
Yeah. So he is a father in like a staunchly Catholic like family in the 70s. And it basically, the way I can describe it, it's like the show The Wonder Years and the Goldbergs kind of had a baby. Because it even has a narrator for that middle kid.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't overly funny or anything like that. It definitely wasn't trying to be like true sitcom type stuff.
A comedy show that's not overly funny.
Well, it's like the Wonder Years. Like it's not going to beat you over the head like the Goldbergs and stuff like that with Barry running around. It's going to be more subtle and like situational and stuff like that. So I have a huge soft spot in my heart for the Wonder Years. It was like the perfect show for me as a kid. So I was like, as I grew up, and so basically it's gonna show you this middle kid of like 8 kids I think they have plus like a baby or something.
Some
like that.
ridiculous amount of kids.
Yeah, it's like a hardcore.
It's almost all
Catholic.
boys too.
Yeah, and it's just it's not going to be an amazing show, but I think I'm going to end up watching it a lot and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with my love of the Wonder Years. I think is what it has to do with.
I think your nostalgia's kicking in.
Yeah.
I watched it. The oldest son becomes a priest or trying to be a priest.
He's going to seminary school.
Doesn't want to be a priest because he has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
The one kid.
He's also got long hippie hair.
They have so many kids. The one kid sleeps under the dining room table at night. And I was like,
the one kid's snitching on people all the time too.
Yeah,
the dad's a super hardworking like Korean War vet. It does hit a lot of like check boxes for like all things 70s, but I think it could be pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna keep checking it out.
I'm not.
Burt, what do you think about that one? No?
If someone killed someone with a butcher knife, Burt's like, okay.
So, and now the other show coming back, and I did like this show until they did the weird divorce / split
you're
angle.
So wrong on that one.
I lost me on that
Dude,
one.
you're wrong.
Blackish is back.
Blackish is one of the best sitcoms on television, period. I'm telling you. It's better than the Goldbergs is right now. The sitcom or the divorce sitcom stuff was great. Steve's wrong in that.
But
it was so uncomfortable.
It
It doesn't have to be funny all the time.
A
Steve.
comedy series needs to be funny all the time. That's
so,
rule 1.
No, it's not.
It should
You
be
can
rule
tell
1.
stories and move stuff along for the household and stuff like that.
Crap.
It was so uncomfortable to watch. I loved it. I love Blackish.
So a comedy series was uncomfortable to watch. How does
Yeah,
that?
it doesn't always have to be one tone, Steve.
Yes, it does.
Well, okay. So Steve, you make me laugh. You make me laugh now. You know
I
what
mean, do you want to
Like-
tune in with family issues of mother and a father to getting divorced? Does that sound fun to watch?
It was awesome. It was some of the
It
best
sucked when they
TV.
tried it on Married with Children.
Yeah, and they're good enough actors to hold it. I loved it. I thought it was great. And it's back. And this season, the junior's going to start going off to college, but now he wants to take a gap year and all this kind of stuff. But he was supposed to go where the dad went to school at Howard. And it's a great show. It's one of the best sitcoms on TV. And Steve will get mad because I'm calling it a sitcom. I don't care.
One of the family dramas on TV.
Blackish is awesome.
There's moments of that show I like. I like the grandfather, and I like all the scenes when he's at work, talking to his work buddies.
The uncomfortable racist stuff is great.
And is it Charlie is his name? his black friend at work.
Yeah,
he
he's
does crazy
hilarious,
stuff all the
yeah.
time. I like that, but sometimes the family stuff just gets so tug at the heartstrings. ABC,
they're dealing with real
family,
issues
AB.
in Los Angeles, Steve.
Real issues for a rich black family
Yes.
in Los Angeles.
It's great.
Have you guys watched the series with the Tim Allen one?
Last Man Standing. I've seen it. Yes,
That's pretty good. That's pretty fun. It's got some good points. It's got some.
They brought it back now, so it's on Fox now, right? It was an ABC show they canceled, but they blamed it on the fact that he was like a staunch
conservative.
Yeah.
What it boiled down to is ABC had to pay. I think it was Sony or some other company to produce that show, and it was getting expensive. So they canned it. But Tim Allen went on about him being conservative. It had nothing to do with him being conservative.
What's the
show
premise
got-
of the show? He owns an outdoor sports place?
It's just him. It's just him from Tool Time. Or,
Totally same character.
Same
type of
character.
character.
Okay, I liked Home Improvement back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah. It's his character older from Home Improvement. I like it. It's fun. The only thing on that show, they do replace a lot of actors on that show.
Oh, people are coming and going all the time.
He's got like a new daughter every other season. It's like, which one is she supposed to be again?
Yeah.
Because even before ABC canceled it, there were some girls that got replaced and stuff on. Because I saw the show when it debuted, and then I saw it like a year or two later, and it was totally different girls. I'm like, who is she supposed to be?
Who? Is that a friend?
So they're always replacing the daughters on that show for some reason. But it's not bad. It's old school Tim Allen, him being a pig and a man and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
What day is that on? I don't even know.
Fridays.
What day
It's on Fridays on Fox now. It was on
That's my
Fridays
Hell's
on
Kitchen
ABC.
day.
Oh man, don't want to interrupt that. We discussed Gordon Ramsay last time. So it's time for Whoa Nelly. Let's talk about some college football.
I think it was kind of a lame weekend for college football.
Yes,
One
but-
major upset, obviously, but
Before we get to the upset, let's talk about the local in-state rivalry. Because now all you Wolverine fans are dusting off your shirts and your jerseys.
especially after the upset.
You're screaming playoff.
Oh, yeah.
You're ready. You're going to beat everybody. But let me tell you, if Michigan State had an inch of offense,
Yeah.
they would have won that game.
Lewerke was panicking the whole game.
Why they didn't pull that quarterback, I have no idea.
It was
He
like
was
hike
6
the
for
ball
29 at one point.
I don't know, man. He
What are your
was
thoughts on the
terrible.
game, Burt? You had to watch it with a Michigan fan. How'd that go?
The game was brutal. I mean, I understand why they lost. Michigan State is riddled with injury.
And
Riddled
and-
with injury.
and
They lost
offense
like their
sucks.
top wideout too, didn't they?
They're down 6 wide receivers. They had a secondary. Their cornerback was playing wide receiver in that game.
Oh, wow.
4 offensive linemen, all freshmen. They're all, I mean, they're riddled.
But
with
why
injury.
does the Lewerke guy, who is like, I want to say he's a he's the third year quarterback or something.
Yeah.
He was panicking.
Well, they have no
mean,
offensive line. None
I
of their
get it,
starters
but
are.
I
in
mean,
there.
have a little bit of composure. Put together a game plan.
He chucked
where
it out of
gets
bounds
the-
on the sideline.
Oh, he
at least
looked
9
bad.
times.
Oh my god!
his accuracy was way off.
They
Way
should have
off.
replaced him in the third
Hike the
quarter.
ball and run, dude. It was like, God, he's
They
panicking.
couldn't run the ball either. They tried running the
No,
ball.
yeah, they tried. Yeah,
They had no offense. It wasn't for Michigan turning the ball over. And
well, they haven't had an offense all year. Let's face
yeah,
it.
it's true.
They
got
struggled
lucky.
with Utah State. They
They
lost
got
to
lucky
San Diego
against Penn
State.
State. Let's be honest. They should have.
Well, Penn State almost lost to Indiana. Hold on. Though.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That's
Penn
true.
State's got issues.
So Michigan. So now
Yeah, it had an
on
hour and a
every-
half rain delay too early
Yeah,
in the game, maybe
yeah.
between the first and second quarter or something like that. Yeah, it was,
So
they
now
took some weather.
anyone's Facebook feed's gonna be loaded with Michigan fans.
But yeah, Charles was right. I think Michigan fans are more happy with the Ohio State than the in-state rival.
Yeah. So before we get to that one, there was another big one that before the weekend started, they were going on about how it was going to be a close game. Was NC State versus Clemson because Clemson has,
blew the doors
Yeah,
off of them. Oh my lord!
Clemson just curb stomped them. That was kind of
Yeah, I
pointless.
mean, there's no doubt who's winning the ACC, folks. I don't know, man.
They have a weird quarterback situation, but they still stomped them. And then, of course, the big one last night. If everyone stayed up and watched it, Herb Meyer got his ass handed to him.
Now, where
by the
was that
Boilermakers.
game?
It was in Purdue.
Oh, well, so that's what
Side
they're
note: when you go to Purdue, I hate
they
that
don't win.
stadium.
You know, Purdue is what? Or Ohio State is 3-5 now versus Purdue.
Yeah, they have a
3-5.
losing record.
So it's the
against them.
D'Antonio to Harbaugh thing.
Yeah,
somehow?
it's some
Yeah.
weird thing. But it was, and then they fell apart. Like they were fumbling kicks and stuff like late in the fourth quarter.
Just
Oh, they gave up.
sloppy
They gave up.
football.
Yeah,
Ohio
yeah.
State gave up.
Yeah, it went up. It was like 35-19 or something.
Wow.
So Ohio State scored a couple, or 35-20, and Ohio State scored a couple quick touchdowns to start bringing it closer. So I don't know if you're watching, but there's like 5 or 6 minutes left. And you're like, well, maybe they might pull. And then they start fumbling, throwing picks, giving up more touchdowns. They just fell apart at the end. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, Purdue ran was it a draw or an
Yeah,
inside
right up the
handoff
middle.
right up the middle for like 40 yards for a touchdown. Ohio State was done. They gave up.
So I guess how does that shake out in the Big Ten? So if Michigan beats
wins out,
Penn
they'll
State
win the
and
Big
wins
Ten.
out, but they got to win in Ohio State, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that
which they won't do?
That's the thing. So
Ohio State will be
now
up for that
you're
one.
looking at a one-loss Big Ten champ. Is the theory, right?
Yeah, and they probably won't get in because they got smoked against Purdue.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
So if everyone holds serve, Alabama, Clemson, and Notre Dame of all people will be in, and then the Big Ten champ will have a loss to Purdue 49-20, and then maybe like the Big 12 champ, which might be Oklahoma, has
Who
one.
stomped up on TCU yesterday? I was watching.
They only lost
that,
to Texas by 3 points near the end of so they probably put Oklahoma in. They pretty much eliminated the Big Ten if Michigan doesn't win out.
Yeah.
Because in reality, Michigan actually may play Wisconsin again for the Big Ten title.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because the Wisconsin wins the West every time.
Yeah, without a problem.
So if Michigan wins out, they have no conference losses at that point.
Right.
So
Their
their
only losses
would be
to Notre Dame, who's
week
will be
one.
number 3
Yeah.
at the time. So right now, so Michigan will be in if they win out. I would bet any money that Ohio State beats them in Ohio State.
Anyone
They
wants
struggled.
to know.
They
I'm
struggled.
not going to argue that.
They struggled against Michigan State with no offense.
But it's like that weird college football thing where all these teams, and because like I don't even think Alabama stands a chance. Like winning out is so hard to do because these teams just have a blip every time.
yeah,
Have they came out with the new rankings yet?
Like the actual
For today?
playoff rankings and everything like
I haven't
that, or
seen
you
them.
talking about like,
Michigan is going to be on the outside looking in. They won't be. In
they
the
won't
top 4.
leapfrog Oklahoma or nothing like that? Is what we're
Well,
saying?
LSU. They won't leapfrog Notre Dame or LSU. Clemson obviously is going to be number 2. Notre Dame should shoot up to number 3 because they're 4 now.
Oh, but LSU lost to Florida. That's
they were still number 5 going into
Yeah.
yeah, I guess okay.
And Ohio State will probably drop down to 7 or 8.
Yeah, which should even be further technically.
Yeah.
Purdue.
Jeez.
So there you go. A little look at the
Because I got
playoffs
news for us Irish fans. If Irish don't win out, they're not in.
Oh,
They
I
take
know.
one
Oh,
loss,
yeah,
they're done.
they're done.
You one loss, they can't screw up one time.
No.
And knowing the Irish, they probably will. So.
And the thing is, if you look at their strength of
Navy
schedule, they
this
got
week.
Navy this week. Yeah, then they're
Syracuse.
Florida State,
OSU or USC.
They got a Northwestern in there somewhere too.
no,
I
I
want
don't
to say
think so.
there's a Northwestern game in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but nonetheless, if they don't win out, they're not going. I can tell you that as an Irish
Oh,
fan.
yeah, we all know
There's
that.
no room for error.
And as an Irish fan, they have been known to choke a game away.
I mean, it's
the
college
Navy
football.
game. You watch that Navy
Yeah.
game.
Well, the funny thing, last night I didn't realize Notre Dame was on a bye, and I was looking for the name. I was like, "Why isn't this on? Why can't I find this game?" And oh, they're on a bye, you dumbass. So there you go, Michigan fans puffing out the chest, and then you wonder why everyone hates you. Everyone's Facebook feed's going to be packed with Michigan. Go Michigan! I already saw one. There was 2 dogs, and one dog's teabagging the other dog.
Well, I mean, at
And then-
at this point, you got it's basically if they don't do it this year, you have to question the Harbaugh hire because you're right to win the Big Ten and get a playoff spot if you can run the table.
yeah, it's handed to you on a platter.
You
They
have to
choke
do
away.
it. Yeah, Ohio State just had their blip. You have it now. So there's no ands, ifs, or buts. If you're going to be a playoff team, 2018 is your year. So we'll see, Wolverine fan. I don't think it's happening.
So now we're going to go into rapid fire. Burt, this is our new segment.
Yes.
Just so you know. We've had it for
Keep
a
you
couple
on your
weeks now.
toes.
So we're going to read off upcoming movies, Blu-rays, music, and you just say yes, no, maybe, or what. Basically.
And basically, what the hell is that?
This is all the new stuff that's coming out this week or thereabouts. And I have to tell you, this list was very hard to put together because there's not much coming out this week. So in the movies, we have Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman in a really bad remake of it looks like Hunt for the it's called the Hunter Killer. For me, it's
Is it a submarine flick?
I think
It looks like Hunt for Red October.
yeah, it looks like a poor version.
I don't
of
even. when I saw the list, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't
Gerard
see a
Butler,
trailer.
Yeah, there's a trailer out there. It comes out this week. It looks absolutely terrible. This kid made it in his bathtub, and Gerard Butler just screamed a couple things. No for me. Common's in it too, if that makes it better. No. What do you think?
I'm going to check it out. It don't look that bad.
So you a
it looks like
maybe,
a
or what?
typical.
Yeah.
That's a maybe. It looks like a typical Gerard Butler.
I saw Geostorm, and it was terrible.
Geostorm.
London has
Geostorm.
fallen type movie.
Gerard Butler's one step above Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I'm a what? Because I didn't even know what this was.
This other one, this is from the guy who always plays Mr. Bean. This may not even be an American release, but it said it was. Johnny English Strikes Again. I think he plays like
he's like a bumbling
James Bond.
Yeah.
No.
What?
I'm a maybe. I'll watch it on HBO. I kind of like Rowan Atkinson or whatever his name is a little bit when he starts doing those dumb Britishy faces.
So then on Blu-ray this week, we got the big Marvel one, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's a yes for me.
Yes.
It's a no, a hard no for Marvel. Marvel movie 3,482. No.
Pierce Bronson is back, and Mamma Mia, here we go again. No.
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 Why is that even on the list?
Because these are the new ones coming out.
Isn't that a sing-along movie too?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
It's
terrible.
a play or something.
Yeah. Wow.
The Big Lebowski 20th Anniversary Edition on Blu-ray. I know I won't be buying it, but I do like the Big Lebowski.
It's a no for me.
That's a huge yes. That's one of the
You're
best
gonna buy
movies. I won't buy it, but I love that movie. Big Lebowski's great. You want to see John Goodman at his best.
He looks horrible lately. Have you seen John?
Yeah,
Goodman?
it's cancer. I don't
Yeah,
know what's
he looks
going on.
mad.
He's
like
living
quit
clean now.
losing weight.
Yeah, he's working out and drinking.
He
Stop
shows
drinking.
it. Oh yeah.
He ain't working out.
No, I read a big article about it.
He must be walking a lot. All right,
Walking a lot.
he ain't lifting no weights. That skin's just sagging.
Well,
like
he had a lot of skin to
Shar-Pei
sag.
dog.
I love John Goodman. Don't you?
I
dare.
do too, but looks like he has cancer at this point. Eat a cheeseburger. Now, this one I had to look up because I didn't think this was true. Boy George and the Culture Club are releasing...
Wait, so this is music? We jumped
Yes.
into music. Oh, I'm sorry.
There's not a lot of releases. This week.
that was the end of the Blu-ray.
A new CD coming out called Life. Boy George and the Culture
So
Club.
it's Boy George too, right? It's
Yes,
the whole Culture
yes.
Club as we
I looked
know
it up because I thought it was a goof. I was like, that is really coming
This
out.
is new music. This isn't the greatest hit.
No for me.
I have to. My daughter listens to the old school Boy George Comic Chameleon all the time. So
Oh, man. Well, you let us know how that new one
I'm
is.
gonna have to.
I'm a no on Boy George music. I am not into that.
This
I
one's-
wonder if it's got an 80s vibe to it.
It has to.
Yeah.
I can't see him singing anything new age.
Maybe.
That'd be hilarious.
Sounds like Taylor Swift.
Maybe he went country. They all seem to go country.
Hootie.
So, in this one I heard about a while back, and I didn't realize it was coming out this week. William Shatner's Shatner Claus, the Christmas album. He has a lot of celebrity guests and stuff on this, and they're singing bad celebrity Christmas songs. It's a no for me.
I'll probably buy it for you for Christmas. But other than that, no.
We'll listen to it at Dad's house.
I'm a maybe for that because it might be funny. It might be funny. You never know. I mean, Shatner can be a funny dude.
And the other one, Ellie King.
Elle King. I like Elle King.
My
Elle
X's
King
and
is
O's.
Rob Snyder's daughter.
Yeah.
The first CD of hers was really good.
I'll Shake the Spirit. I will say maybe, and listen to it on streaming first before I ever.
Yeah.
But who really buys these CDs?
I'm
anyway?
gonna go have what?
Elle King.
You never heard my
man.
X's and O's?
Yeah, it's a good.
No.
I'm a yes. I like Elle King. I think she's pretty good.
And then the other guy that I've never liked and a lot of music purists love, Elvis Costello and the Imposters.
Oh my God!
Look
Get that
now.
on vinyl. What are we doing, man?
No thanks. Never liked him.
No.
I'm not a vinyl. No. Do not own a record player.
So no Elvis Costello. So there's a look at our rapid reviews. Rapid fire. Burt's going to go out and get a You Like King.
It's L. It's
I like to see Eli. Yeah. And Charles is getting William Shatner.
I'm a big fan of the Shat.
So got a couple of reviews for you this week. I've been video gaming it quite a bit. Again, I want to tell everyone I'm going to be in major depression if Best Buy ever closes. I got the new
It's when, not if. But,
I got the new Soul Calibur 6 from there with all my discounts, $30.
Wow.
So I can't hate ever on Best Buy.
How are you now? Tell the listeners or anyone how are you getting it for $30?
I still have the Gamers Club, which was 20% off or 12% off. Then they sent me a coupon for 10% off,
like a rewards coupon or something like that. Yeah.
And then I had a $10 gift reward certificate as well. So with all that, it ended up being about $30 off. I love Best Buy when they go out of business. I'm gonna just cry
I
myself.
wonder
to
why
sleep.
they're going out of business.
Because I didn't buy
Steve single-handedly
$50
putting him out of
video
business.
game for $30.
I didn't buy anything else either. Just that game and left.
Exactly.
But Soul Calibur's back. Bert, do you ever remember those games?
I do remember Soul Calibur.
So
Yeah.
is there a special guest? Because that's a big Soul Calibur
Yes,
thing, like
there-
Yoda and stuff like that. Is there any of
And
that
this
stuff?
one it is Geralt from Witcher 3. The gray-haired guy. Okay, you look lost. Why do you look...
So you went from Yoda and Darth Vader to a Witcher
Witcher.
character.
Witcher's super huge. though.
I understand, but I mean, we're talking about characters that transcend video games into a Witcher character from like a Polish studio.
Yes. Well, there's some... Let me tell you some backstory.
How is that not a letdown to you? I mean,
Well,
I don't understand.
let me tell you,
and now are they also platform specific?
No,
'Cause
he's the only one.
so again, this Soul Calibur is totally lame.
Well, Namco Bandai is the ones that own the Soul Calibur franchise. They released Soul Calibur 5 about 6 years ago. They didn't want to make anymore because
they finally actually realized it's
the last
terrible.
one was kind
Sounds
of
a lot like horror movies.
yeah. The last one kind of didn't go over too well. They tried a bunch of new stuff and it tanked badly. They had no guest appearances in the last one.
Yeah, I mean
And
that was a good part of it.
So
I liked
this
it.
one, the devs and the people who wanted to make it had to beg them. So they gave them a budget, but a small budget, and you can tell when you play the game.
Oh, wow.
So that's why they couldn't
real
afford.
lean and
You cannot afford Star Wars characters on a small budget.
Wow.
So that's what happened.
That's a little inside baseball. on
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened there.
And when you play the game now, the gameplay itself is fun. The one thing, Bert, you used to like Tekken, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about the 3D fighting games, they have a fluid movement to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like where Injustice and Street Fighter, they're a little stiff. You know, you got to put in your moves. Where 3D, and they still have that.
Moving
Everything's-
within the space.
Yes,
and-
yes.
yeah,
Everything
okay.
feels very fluid. The gameplay is good. It's just everything else with the game, they cut a lot of corners. Example, you play the story mode. Now, the last Mortal Kombat game and Injustice, the story mode has like all these scenes and these animated scenes.
They
It's
really
like,
fleshed it
yeah,
out.
you're like playing an animated movie,
Yeah.
and it's really nice. And you switch.
You
over
get
to the
why
fight.
you're going from fight to fight.
Yeah,
all this,
in this, the story mode is literally a still picture and some text.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
It is
wow.
not
Yeah.
1996, people.
Yeah, I mean, you still get the
Wow.
voiceover from the actor, but yeah. So they cut corners, didn't animate the scenes at all. So that's the story mode. Then they got an individual story mode, same thing, just and then they got another story mode where you can make a character, and when you make your character, you go. It's got like role playing elements. It's boring. All you do is sit there and skip the whole time to get so the fighting and the core.
Does it have an
game-
online element? How's
It
the
does.
online?
Online was fine. I played 3 or 4 fights.
Did you get smoked?
No, I won.
Oh,
I couldn't believe
okay.
it. Well, Soul Calibur has always been the game where you can just jack buttons and hope
okay,
you win.
okay.
So I put the fight stick and I was like, ah! And I ringed out a lot of people. And the other surprising thing I really like about the game is the creative fighter. It's almost like as in depth as the wrestling games, maybe a step behind.
You can give yourself an intro.
Yeah. I made She-Ra. So
okay,
I
that's
took
cool.
She-Ra online and smoking people. So you can really
Oh,
make.
so you can take that customized character online.
Well,
and stuff
here's
like
the funny thing about the creation thing, and this is where they cut corners again. Yeah, you could make She-Ra, but you could only use her online in I think in arcade.
that. Oh, because you didn't fit in the story mode. 'Cause they
You
didn't
can't
have all
use her
the,
in
they didn't
any
have
of-
text
the
for
game's got like 7
insert
modes.
custom character's name here.
Yeah, the game's got 7 modes. You can only use your created character in 2 of them.
It's cool they let you take them online though. That gives
Yeah.
a lot of. It fleshes out a lot of stuff.
They're
to
gonna
do.
edit that though, because I was looking through some of the ones that people made. One guy made a big penis on a guy's head.
There's no like curation for it or like
They're gonna
crowd
get in
man-
trouble for that one. Those are all gonna start getting pulled. So it's a good game, and I feel like if they put more money into it, more DLC, more characters, it could. There's just a lot of clipping issues too. You know what I'm talking about?
You're going through, yeah.
Yeah, like you can make
your
a-
arms going through another character.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff?
made like an elf character, and his ears went through the hood. There's an animation with one of the original characters where he does like a choke, but his hands like go through to the neck. There's a lot of clipping issues in it, so they got to fix some of that
Little
stuff.
QA
too.
issues,
but I don't
yeah.
think they're going to fix it up because the budget was low and they're not doing it. It depends on how it's.
And no one's talking about it. I didn't even until
Yeah.
I saw you were going to talk about it today. I didn't even know it was coming out. I mean, I know I'm not the deepest into video games anymore, but
Yeah.
usually I know so I know Red Dead's already like preloading
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. I don't know anything about Soul Calibur coming out.
I'm just over the years, fighting games have become my second favorite video games now. Sports
Since they've come
Madden
back and kind of
football
come
is
back
still number one.
in force, they're really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I really like the fighting.
They've
games.
got the online stuff down
I buy
pat,
the stupid
yeah.
fight sticks. I sit there and play them.
They're fun.
I really that's why I knew about it right away. But
Yeah.
6 out of 10 maybe. They really if they would put time and money into it and maybe another year of development, it would have been a really fantastic game. But the way it is, it's like, really, I got to read all this crap. And then you just find yourself skipping all of it anyway. So it's like someone did all this time to write all this text out, and all you're going to do is skip it to get to the fight. So it's kind of a bummer. And like you said, Witcher 3 is the only guest.
Yeah, I mean
they could have stuck anyone
because
in
that
there.
one Soul Calibur where like it depended on the platform and you got a Star Wars character based on your platform and stuff was really cool.
Yeah, Darth Vader, Yoda,
and
they
all fit the universe with the lightsaber stuff.
And the one Soul Calibur had Spawn in it. I remember that. That was.
And they did like Link and
those days are long gone because Soul Calibur don't want to pay for it.
There's a new Spawn movie coming out, by the way.
Yeah, I heard about that. Jamie Foxx is supposed to play Spawn. So we'll see how that goes. But that's supposed to be low budget too. They want to do it almost
Is
like
John Leguizamo coming back? That's what I need to know.
The clown.
Yeah.
they want to do it like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's rated R.
So hopefully that's what Venom should have been. They should have made Venom more like a horror movie. But anyways, so there you go. There's Soul Calibur. Now, Burt, you remember the old Mega Mans?
I do.
As I was playing,
So hard.
Mega Man 11 came out. As I was playing Mega Man 11, I text Burt. I go, I forgot how hard these damn games are.
Really, any of those like old school games, you're like, how did I used to play this crap?
The one thing Nintendo still does, and I'll give them credit for, is they still take their 2D games and they'll give it a nice new shine. You know,
They got a 3D elements on.
yeah,
2D
I don't know
plane.
why more companies don't do this. Well, Capcom finally caught on with Mega Man 11, and they took all the graphics, got rid of the 8-bit crap, even though for some reason people like it. I don't know why you want a giant... Yeah, but it's compared to what it could be. Like, the Mega Man 11 is almost like controlling a cartoon. That's how nice it looks. So, and it's insanely hard in parts, and I almost threw my controller across the room a couple times. But that's another thing, too. You got to look up the order of the boss, like what boss you should beat first, because then his weapon will work on the next boss. I had to look that up online, because I was like, I'm getting smoked. I don't know what I'm doing. But Mega Man 11, only $30. It's not the longest game, but it will be long because you're going to repeat a lot of parts. But it's fun. It looks like a cartoon. If you're old school retro gamer,
Is that out for every platform? Like
It's even on the Switch. It's on the PS4. Everything.
And it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great. I really do like how it looks. Now that's another one too, though. Some of the cutscenes are a lot of text. It's like. But they did that on purpose to keep the old school feel. And then you can only save like at the end of a stage.
Oh, okay.
So if you die in the middle of the
worst.
stage,
Worst.
you got to.
But that's the tip of the hat to the old school. It's tough as shit.
Oh,
It's
it's
the tip of
drives
the
you
hat.
insane though. So the game's actually longer just by the repeating and all that stuff. Mega Man 11, I actually, if you choose between Soul Calibur and Mega Man, I might go with Mega Man because it's only $30. So Mega Man, I'd probably give about an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. The retro feel. That's
cool.
It did a good job. I just don't like the high def TVs where they put 8-bit. It's so pixelated because I bought that fighter beat 'em up bundle from Capcom, and you can almost not tell what's. It's just little blobs moving around. But you like that though? You don't mind that?
I don't mind that.
Wow, man, I need to update a little bit, get a little bit of graphics. So there you go. There's the 2 games this week. Both of them have write-ups and reviews on our Fat Guys Littlepodcast.com website. So if you want to read them there, and on our Facebook, there's links to it there. So now, recently I bought the Pure water filters about a year ago.
Those are the ones that attach to the faucet.
Yes. And ironically enough, just last night mine broke, so I got to go get another one. It's only
those are the
$20.
ones you got to manage a little more. So what I want to talk about today, I put one on my main water coming into my house. So I talked before about the Apex system I have for all my drinking water in the building, but this is for all the water coming in, and it's like a GXH40L. It's like a GE thing. Yeah. For like $70 at Home Depot, you buy this housing and it puts this filter media in. Now, I actually just changed 2 days ago my filter, and I brought it up here to show you guys. It'll blow you away. So
Wait, you brought the filter?
Can't wait to see this.
look at this thing. So it started out pure white and only weighs 2 pounds when you put it in. This thing weighs over 5.5 pounds now with all the metals that it trapped.
That's metal. It looks like poo.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. So that thing sits in a housing, and that's all of the shit washing into your house on your drinking water. So it's pretty unbelievable stuff.
Tasty.
Yeah, it's so
And that's going through all our bodies.
yeah.
I want you to drink that.
Just lick the outside.
Yeah, it 2.5 times the size. I got about 8 months out of this filter. So the filters cost $30. So I get, about 2/3 of a year through on one filter and everything like that, but you can see firsthand the shit that this thing is pulling out. I mean, it's bright orange. That's all metals and shit in your water right there.
Jesus Christ.
It's like Flint.
Yeah, I'm full of all kinds of good news. Steve's gonna go home.
No, I've already got a phobia of the dirty water.
So the nice part is with that GE housing and those shark bite fittings that you can buy, those like press on fittings. Any homeowner can put this on. It doesn't take like any kind of real knowledge or whatever. You're just going to cut your pipe, spin these fittings on it, and they just pressure fit together. There's no need to solder or nothing crazy. So there's no reason that everyone shouldn't put that on their filter or put it on their house coming in. It's pretty substantial with the way it does, but I'm a big fan of those whole house filters. And anyone who doubts it, I can show them that. But dude, Steve's so depressed now.
I know. Such dirty infrastructure we have.
It's old. Right, it's aging.
This podcast is not very political. And there's a big governor's election coming up.
Yes.
Whichever
November
one says,
6th.
Whichever candidate says, "I'll fix your water," that's what I'm voting for. I'll fix your pipes.
I mean, this house
that's
is
all
built.
they gotta say, and they got my vote.
This house is built in the 1930s, and the infrastructure that feeds it, man, it's getting up to 100 years old, and it's crazy. I mean, it was funny because the one time, so we do again. I've talked at length on the podcast before how Ford's doing a lot of work around here. And my wife's on a website that talks about like local issues in our city, and there's a bunch of people complaining that they're saying their water is getting discolored from where they're moving all the pipes and all this stuff. With that whole house filter, we didn't experience any of it, so it was catching that sediment as it was coming in. So
they about a year ago they did something to the pipes behind my house. And for about a day, we had like light brown water. I was like, "Are they serious with this?" Next day, I went out and got filtered.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's and anyone who wants to see it, man, it's crazy. And that the metals alone, that thing 2.5 times the weight. It's over 5 pounds. It went in at 2 pounds, dude. I mean, it's crazy.
I'm not very political, but the infrastructure in this country is starting to fall apart.
Dude, I'm telling you. We're moments away from being Kosovo. I'm telling you.
We need some roads. We need some water pipes.
No, instead, Trump's going to go play at Mar-a-Lago, and here we are.
Yeah, and build a wall. I don't give a damn about a wall. Yeah. Give me some clean pipes.
Dude, it's crazy.
God, it's so annoying. So there you go. Get you a filter because we're all drinking poo.
Metals, man. Metals.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
All right. Now, we're recording a little earlier this Sunday because...
That's Burt.
Yeah, trying to look out for Burt and his daily schedule. But we're all degenerate NFL fans. Degenerate's the word of the day, by the way. We don't get to really see any upsets. But Burt, did you check out that Thursday night game?
Nope.
Good, because it was a turd.
As most of them are.
The only highlight of that game was how many Denver fans were in Arizona.
Oh, yeah,
when Denver would score, the place would go nuts. I'm like, wait a minute, this is in Arizona,
because Denver beat up on the Cardinals, right? I mean,
45-10.
Who doesn't beat up on the Cardinals?
Yeah, true.
They need to bring Kurt Warner back.
I don't understand. Who is the Cardinals quarterback? That rookie, Lorenz or something? I
couldn't tell you.
Jared Lorenz, isn't that the guy? Tubby guy from Kentucky.
It's something similar to that. And he's from UCLA. And oh my God, the whole broadcast. Jory Aikman. Well, he's having a bad year, but so did I in my first year, and I won 3 Super Bowl. There's a rule in NFL. Any young quarterback, they got to
pump him up.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's so annoying. And you know what that kid did? He threw 2 pick sixes.
Yeah,
I was like, well, yeah, he's great.
It's a rough season.
Who's
the head coach?
Josh Rosen. Ain't that his name?
Yeah, that sounds right. Who's the head coach at Arizona now?
I don't know. He was an assistant of the former Bruce Arians.
Okay,
and then they promoted him. He was offensive assistant. Which is ironic because they couldn't score. They
got no offense, but
Arizona is terrible. Their quarterback sucks. Their offensive line sucks. That David Johnson at running back, he can't do anything.
They're a mess.
Yeah, and Fitzgerald's 110 years old.
Because you know what's funny is to see Denver of all squads drop 45 on a team is pretty incredible. Usually, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think 28 of it was defensive.
Yeah, it's true.
They kept scoring on defense and special teams.
Now we're recording this after there was a London game that took place, and Mike Vrabel went for 2. He went for the W, and apparently it didn't pan out.
I don't understand.
Why are we in London? Someone
that's
answer
Another
me
national
that.
product, man.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
So they played the Seattle Oakland
And now
game, but
we're
it was
in
later.
they're
I
in
don't
London-
understand what happened there.
They're
So
in London multiple times a year now. too.
Right,
yeah,
that's right. It's
and
not
they give a
just
team a
one.
bye week right after it, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah.
And
When's the Mexico City's regular season game?
And I know we're trying to expand Universal or whatever.
Yeah, man.
He's
He's
on
part
the
of,
board.
when he's in the board,
as
he's
a
talking.
country or whatever. But then why are we sending the shittiest NFL teams over there?
It's usually Jacksonville.
Right.
Jacksonville
That's
goes
what I'm
like
saying.
once a year.
It was Jacksonville before Jacksonville was even decent.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
But
Now
I
it's-
think it's because they can push back. I think any of the good teams tell them no.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing it. Like, they'll go, okay,
That
we'll
tells you
send,
something.
we'll send Oakland.
We'll send the Lions.
Tennessee. Who was over there today?
Tennessee, San Diego.
Well,
or I'm
they
sorry,
should-
Los Angeles.
They should
Something
leave
like
Phillip Rivers over there.
that. I don't know. Wiggs is at home telling you no.
I don't understand what's going on with Tennessee. They've had a terrible offense now for like 5 years. Mariota must suck. That's the only thing.
Well,
I
I
can
guess he
think
did really well, or he did enough to get him up there. But yeah, they were saying that they ended up going for
2 points,
Yeah,
lost.
The only
it's
thing
crazy.
that keeps Tennessee in the game is their defense all the time. Their offense only scores like 14 points, and then their defense will keep them close.
Doesn't it make you feel a little older, like Mike Vrabel's the coach
Yeah,
there? You know,
all
it's
the
like,
former
wow.
guys we used to watch are
Yeah,
coaching.
it's
Or
like,
not.
oof.
They go to the Hall of Fame and then they coach. It's like, God, I'm old. So there's a look at the London game. Now, who you guys? Now tonight should be a good game. For some reason,
Let's go Chiefs. I need the Chiefs, man.
I need Patrick
Cincinnati-
Mahomes. He's on my Fan Duel team.
Okay,
yeah,
so we're all rooting for the Chiefs.
Cincinnati has been putting up some points this year. Did you see when Tyler Eifert broke his leg in like 82 spots there against Atlanta?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, his leg was going one way and he was going the other, just laying on a thing. It was like one of those old school Madden where the ambulance shit just ran people over. And picked him up. He got messed up. He's done for the year. Might be done for his career.
So going around the room, we want Kansas City to win.
Yeah, I want Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I don't
Screw
mind Cincinnati, but
No.
you know, whatever. It should be high scoring. What is it going to be, like 45 to 43?
I'm hoping.
Yeah, you sent me the Fan Duel for that game. I took both quarterbacks, by the way.
Now there's a good 4:00 game today too. That I don't know if you're going to touch on or whatever. That New Orleans Baltimore game should be 4:00 today. I
Oh,
believe,
yeah,
as
that
well.
should
That's
be
a good
pretty good.
game. Yeah. Now that's in Baltimore, so you're taking the Saints out of a dome.
So the Saints will lose.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
They'll beat the crappy teams outside of a dome, but
Yeah.
good teams outside of the dome, not too trustworthy on that. And then the Monday nighter should be a real stinker. New York Giants versus the Atlanta Falcons. What's
So
that?
your Falcons had better put it together because the
That's got to be
Giants
30
are
to
just-
10, right? The Giants are terrible.
Giants are bad.
I think they're worse than the Lions at this point.
Lions are smoking the Dolphins right now, by the way.
Whoa, what's the
Wow.
score?
20-7.
Wow.
Leos, man. I'm telling
They're
you.
gonna be
Brock
3-3.
Osweiler is not putting it together for those Dolphins.
I'm going to say shocking. Any other major, what's the Bears doing?
Let's go around the league here, Burt. What you got?
We got the New England leading Chicago 21-17 at half.
Oh, it's a little squeakier than I thought it was going to be.
The Colts are just annihilating the Bills 24-0.
Bills are terrible.
Texans 20-0 over the Jags.
Wow. What's going on in Jacksonville?
They want to
man?
hang.
They started out really hot.
Yeah.
and
They
just
want to hang
fell.
Bortles down there. They literally want to hang
Dude,
him.
I'm telling you.
The Leos are showed up again, 20-7 over the Dolphins.
Wow.
The Vikings are in a tight one with the Jets, 10-7.
Vikings are kind of the luster's falling off of them, too.
They're streaky.
And the Eagles are beating the Panthers 10-0.
That's a good game. I'm
That
bummed
should be
it's
a
not
good
on
game,
TV.
too.
Yeah, it's not on. At least not around here.
Yeah. And we stuck. What, the Lions are on, and I'm surprised they have two games on. at
We
the
got a
same time.
terrible 4:00 game too. I want to say we're getting Dallas, Washington.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's our 4:00 game. So this is the one Sunday where I can be productive.
Well, you know, the game will probably be close, though.
Yeah, 3-0.
Maybe 9-6.
I mean, I'm willing to watch Ezekiel Elliott run and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I guess is AP still running or is he falling apart?
No,
yet?
he's still there.
AP's still there.
Yeah. He's got his bionic knees and his switch or his stitch or whatever.
Yeah. Chasing them kids. Get away.
Got
Who needs a
the
spanking?
Rams at the Niners.
That'd be terrible. That's just terrible. So the highlight of the day is Kansas City and Cincinnati.
And we're going
That
to be
should
rooting for them
good.
Chiefs.
Why all of a sudden you're on the Chiefs, man?
I'm not. I just want Cincinnati to lose. Gotta have my squad.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
What are you doing? Screw the Chiefs. I just need them to win today.
The Steelers play today? Or
No, they're in bye.
Bye.
So both my squads, I'm sitting out.
They're still looking for Le'Veon Bell?
No, I don't know. Week 8. What week are we on?
He didn't come.
Week 8.
He
Yeah.
didn't show up. So there you go. So a little look at the NFL. Now we got a little news. And this one I saw. Could you click that link on there? Or because I got the...
Does this say Golden Girls?
Yes, there's a Golden Girls cereal has been released. And this is the most blue cereal I've ever seen.
Well, it's made by the people that make Pops, right?
Yeah,
like,
they make
Funko Pop.
You can get a collector toy with. Look at that. I'm looking at the one.
They are neon blue.
They are some terrible looking cereal. But you do get a free Betty White Pop when you buy the Golden Girls cereal.
Oh, so that tells us that Michelle will buy it.
Oh,
because
yeah.
we gotta have
Well,
all
when
things
my
Pop.
wife buys it, we'll bring it in for a taste test and let everyone try. I mean, that's got to turn your whole mouth blue, right? This is the most blues. It's like they took Fruit Loops and extra dyed them blue.
I mean, those are neon blue, like sea foam
Oh,
blue.
they look terrible.
But I don't get how Funko's making a cereal. That's my question.
Yeah,
This
I don't know
isn't
if
Post or General Mills. This is Funko.
Yeah, and I think they don't even sell them at regular grocery stores. You'll see them at like FYE or something.
Yeah.
So
We'll get some cereal at an FYE.
well, the WWE had those Bootios from the New Day. Holly saw those at the store at FYE. I was like, I don't know if I want to buy cereal at FYE. I don't know.
You check the date on that.
So there you go. Look for the Golden Girls cereal coming to a local entertainment store.
Yeah. How much are they? They're $40 for a box. Did I see that right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, come on.
Dude, I saw it in the corner.
No one's gonna buy it.
Let's check this one
I'm
more
guessing
time.
$10. Because $40 for a box of cereal, the joke's on you.
But you do get a pop.
Well, the pop's $10, but I think it's one of those mini pops. It's not even like the full size pop.
It's not. The link's not working right now.
All right. Well,
We'll report back next week. It was $40. They're out of their goddamn minds.
yeah, that's crazy.
Blue hair cereal.
No, it's the cereal's made from Betty White's hair. So,
Yeah.
you know. So and now back to Netflix again. We do talk a lot about Netflix. Burt, you like the Marvel shows on there, right? Or just Daredevil?
Daredevil's the only one. Well, Daredevil and Punisher are the only ones I watched.
Well, it's probably the only two you should watch. Well, last week they announced they canceled Iron Fist.
Yeah, they're cleaning house with all those
And
Marvel
this week,
shows.
Luke Cage got the chopping block, and it is gone.
Now, you seem to think it has to do with that independent Disney service is
Yes,
why you're
I
definitely,
really do.
you're pointing, all signs are pointing to, they're pulling all the content, shipping it over there.
There's still a contract between the two, but I feel Netflix is scaling down because they know if they keep expanding it, Marvel's just going to take it away from them anyways.
Whenever they want to, they're just going to say, "Oh, this is back to us."
I fully
now.
believe they're going to can Jessica Jones as well coming.
So, what will that leave behind at this
Punisher
point?
and Daredevil.
The
Which-
only two good shows.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
He's right. I've seen all of it. Punisher and Daredevil, the only two good ones. They should keep the characters and the actors and just make them show up on those two main shows. Is what would be my guess, right? Wouldn't you think?
Would make sense, yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't watched Daredevil season 3 yet. Have you seen it?
I haven't yet.
I was wasting my time in that Haunting Hill. Terrible movie. But so they're canned.
You think the march is just going to continue? You think they're going
Yes.
to keep pulling the plug on them?
Like I said, the only ones I don't think they'll cancel Daredevil just because how hot it is and how many people watch it. And
People seem pretty hyped on that Punisher show. They
yeah,
like-
well, because of that actor, that John,
guy from
he's pretty popular. So I think
it's
those
Burnthal
two
or something like that is his name.
Those two Netflix will stick with, and like I said back in the day, comic nerd again.
Are they going to be forced to show it on their service as well? I mean, what's the
No,
So they're not going to have to pimp it to Marvel's service at all?
no, not that I know of.
Okay.
They're according to their contracts, they can still show it on their Netflix series.
Okay.
But what Marvel could do is make them cancel them all and then just reboot it and have new actors on their service.
Just basically.
And a lot of
gut it.
people are like, well, they're not going to put a serious show like that on the Disney streaming. I don't know if you've heard
If it
the news.
drives subscribers, man, they don't
The
care.
Mandalorian. Have you seen that?
No,
That's going to be like a mature Star Wars series. On the show. John Favreau.
Yeah, I was going to say
directing it.
Favreau's attached to it. Now that you
Yeah, I've already
mention
seen
it,
pictures from it. He looks like Boba Fett. Pretty sweet looking. So it's called The Mandalorian. That'll be on the service. I think they're going to take everything from that.
Yeah.
They're going to pull the movies and they're going to pull all the
They
series.
just need subscribers.
That's really
man.
going to hurt Netflix if this happens, but I'm almost positive that's going to happen. What do you think?
It sounds like it probably will.
Yeah.
And we've talked before on this podcast. Like, I don't know how. At some point, you're going to reach a level of saturation. I'm not going to have 17 services at my house. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to subscribe. Like, everyone's going to do that 30-day free trial, bang out a show, and see you later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's all you're going to do.
I'd like to see the numbers on the new Warner Brothers service that launched in September with the new Titan show and all that crap.
That's the
on it.
DC one we talked about.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it out?
Yeah, it came out in September. See, that's how good it is. Charles didn't even know it was
Wow,
out.
I didn't know it was out. I really
did you know
didn't.
it was out?
No.
Yeah, so they're
Wow.
really advertising well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Jeez.
came out. But
Because we talked about it when it was supposed to launch.
these services are starting to catch on a little bit because the big show on that one is the live action Teen Titans show.
Yeah, the one that we were like swearing and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, F Batman. But they're doing weekly now. They're not dropping the whole series. anymore.
We talked about that's smart to do. Man.
Yeah,
That's
so
smart.
the Teen Titans one's doing one once a
And
week.
like I
think
said,
on
you just
Friday.
wait till all of it aired and bang that out in
Yeah,
30 days.
yeah.
I don't know. People
I'd
are
like to know
smart
what
now.
the CBS streaming is doing too. I would
With
like
that
to see
Star
how-
Trek that
Yeah,
they're.
yeah. I wonder how much money and how many subscribers they got.
I don't know,
I mean, some of
man.
these are going to start merging, right? You're going to see them all start buying each other out and merging together.
I'm not getting rid of Netflix. Netflix is still, for me, is my favorite. So they just loaded a ton more content and stuff like that. It's just Netflix is the creme de la creme of those streaming services, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you have cable, you don't need Hulu. So you know what I mean. If you have live TV, you don't need Hulu.
Unless you're just that big of a diehard Handmaid's Tale fan.
And you get 30 days when it all aired and watch it and see you later. You know what I mean?
I don't know who
You
wants
can
to sign
have
up for that
75 different email addresses just for your 30 different day contract.
But Netflix needs to worry a little bit if they're going to lose all their Disney stuff. I mean,
I don't watch any of that. I might be a minority. I don't watch it. I don't.
Does your 7-year-old daughter watch any of the Disney stuff on there?
Disney? Probably not.
She watches Vampirina.
Yeah.
Or not
No, she
Vampirina.
doesn't.
Yeah, no. There's like a handful, like Monster fan. Lorna doesn't watch any of the Disney stuff either. Because all the movies that Lorna's already seen.
Right.
So,
Tegan doesn't watch any of the movies.
yeah.
She'll watch the series. She watches
Home.
Cat Noir and
Oh, yeah. See, there you go. That's
Ladybug
a
and
Monster
Cat Noir.
High thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No.
I'm telling you. Netflix, man.
But back in the 90s, you remember, Burt, when we were at Big Ben's Comics. Yeah. Daredevil always had, I said this before on the podcast, Daredevil's always had a weekly or a monthly series. Punisher always had series. But who always got canceled? Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica. They never kept their series. They always got canceled. So to turn around and make TV shows on a comic that would always get canceled in the 90s.
The problem is you crazy people love all things Marvel. And if Marvel shits on something, you guys are going to be like, that's a good shit. You see this shit over here?
well,
It's crazy.
not
man.
Luke Cage and all that. I never.
Yeah,
watched
Okay,
it.
so
I've
you
been
guys are
watching
in the, but you guys know a lot of people that Marvel can do no wrong for. It's crazy.
Well, even on that article you linked to in the comments,
'Cause
people
you-
are like,
I mean,
I'm
all
done
you-
with Netflix. They're going to cancel the Marvel.
yeah, it's
They're-
like I said,
Netflix is
like,
going to lose a lot of people.
I don't know, man. I love Netflix. I love my Netflix.
I know you do, but there's a lot of diehard comic nerds that are, they only signed up because of Marvel, and all that Marvel stuff gets pulled. They're going to be.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
We'll see. We'll find out about it. What is
How
it?
much is the Disney streaming? Does
No,
anyone know? No details.
yet, except they said it'll be competitive with Netflix. Is the only
Okay,
thing
so
they've
probably
said.
$14-15.
Yeah. And they have a live action Star Wars film show that Jon Favreau's making. They're going to have tons of animated and stuff. So I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see how it goes.
Speaking of streaming, does anybody still stream like the WWE crap?
No, I can't. You were trying to catch me on that one.
I was just gonna say.
I know. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. In January, when the Royal Rumble comes, I'm going to sign back up, and I'll watch it from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, and then I'll cancel it again. Come back at SummerSlam.
One of the
cancel
things
it.
that is
That's what
nice
I do with that.
we often don't talk about on this show is that you can just pick these services up when you want to. You can drop them when you
Contract.
want to. Yeah,
No contract.
Nothing. Yeah, it's like I'll give you 3 months. Here's $45 for a couple months, and then I'll see you.
Yeah.
You do got to remember your login. You also have to remember to yourself, hey, go cancel that when I catch up.
I always
But
write it
you
on my
have-
calendars.
Yeah, you have that ability to. It's kind of a neat time to live in society and like to consume this stuff. You can kind of just jump in, jump out when you want to. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, or you can just borrow your buddy's login.
Amen to that.
Is she still watching Scooby-Doo religiously?
No, she's moved on from Scooby-Doo. Every now and then she'll pop on Scooby-Doo. But like I said, she watches Ladybug, Cat Noir, Spirit the Horse.
That's a Netflix original that Lorna likes.
You guys have
watches
young
that.
daughters because I don't know any of this.
They're the same age. So
Yeah, man. My daughter's Fuller House. That's it.
Oh, God.
Oh, she loves it. Uncle Jesse's her idol. But she doesn't watch much Netflix anymore. Holly will just binge it for a weekend, whatever series she likes, and then she's done back to YouTube for the rest of the week. So that's what the teenage kids will do. That's what Tegan will be doing in about 7 years.
Yeah. Tegan does YouTube music. She'll sit there on her little tablet and listen
We're
to music.
psychos. We limit a lot of screen time in May Street Studios.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Such strict parents. That's what you get when you're daughter of a teacher.
No.
So the last rant, Charles is going to go on to this one, and I agree with him on this rant, and I added a little caveat at the very end. But yeah, Charles,
Smokers are assholes. Let me just start off by saying, so this past week, I was talking about at work, and I was joking with Steve about how I need to quit my job, and I was joking with people at work, like I'm going to quit my job because I'm going to win the lotto, man. I'm going to win this $1 billion. I'll see you later. I had this little old lady I work with, who I won't name names, but she's annoying and knows who she is. She looks at me and goes, "How much money did you spend on the lotto?" I was like, $20. Why? It's $1 billion. Like, I'm going to throw $20 at $1 billion anytime I can. Well, you're just wasting your money. I go, don't you smoke? You're going to lecture me. And you light something on fire and suck on it for $8 a pack. And that's
what gets me.
Dude, I just hate smokers. They're the filthiest people. So, like, we have this back dock. Like, I don't care. If you're listening to this and you're like, he's a dick because he hates smokers. I don't like you. You're a smoker and you're a dick. And I don't care.
Our grandmother, R.I.P.
Yeah, dude, it's the stupidest habit. And, like, oh, I'm addicted to it. Well, you're an asshole. You should have never started. If you're under the age of 40 and you smoke, you've been told your whole life it's going to kill you. Like, so you can't even act like you didn't know. It's not like a World War II vet where they were sending, Marlboros to them in the bush somewhere and you got addicted to smoking. You've been told your whole life, dude, you're going to die of lung cancer. I'm going to take my chances. You're an asshole, period. So, like, at work, we have this back dock area where you come and go, like the employee back dock. I'm sure all you know all too well with your jobs. And it's just littered in cigarette butts. And whenever you ask these filthy fucking smokers, hey, did you drop these cigarettes? That wasn't mine. None of them, they're all the cleanest smokers. Meanwhile, there's 6,000 cigarette butts just everywhere. It's like, so someone's throwing cigarette butts.
I mark my butts with my initials.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you know what? Like, kiss my ass. And then here's the other thing, too. They also complain, like, well, it's cold out there. Like, we literally were, like, trying to, like, make, like, heaters and shit at one point in my hospitality career for, like, making smokers comfortable. And I'm like, wait a minute. How the hell is this our problem? Like, don't smoke. There's a novel idea. Like... It's just there. I hate you, smokers. If you're a smoker, go fuck yourself. I don't care. I don't like them. We already are explicit on iTunes. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's true. I don't like smokers. You're filthy people. You're disgusting.
My personal favorite is in the middle of January where you're cruising down Van Born and the smoker has his window all the way down so he can smoke.
Yeah, just an asshole.
And it's minus 30 out.
And they can't drive any. Like, how could you not? Like, okay, so like. Am I going to make provisions like I enjoyed jacking off? So, like, can I get them to, like, let me go 8 times a day and jack off at the back dock?
Thank you. That's my biggest bitch about smokers. People get breaks at work, but smokers get unlimited. They can go smoke.
I got to go smoke.
5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 5 minutes there.
I smoke, Burt. Like, what's your problem,
and if
man?
the boss smokes and they smoke with the boss, they get even more.
Dude, it's ridiculous,
Farmer
man.
Jackson would do that all the time.
I cannot stand. And then, like I said, to be judged by a smoker that I was this past week just set me off. I'm like, are you serious? $8 a pack. I think they should be $70 a pack.
You ever, like, at the gas station or 7-Eleven standing behind someone that's buying packs of cigarettes?
No.
And then see, like, the totals that come up?
Good.
Like, 3
I don't
packs
think
is
it's
like
high enough.
$7.
Double that shit. You don't have to smoke.
Oh my god, that's an
And
expensive.
it's like a
hobby.
20-year-old kid you're behind. Like your whole life, dude. You've been told it's gonna kill you, but you're like, I'm gonna try it. You know what I mean? Like you're an idiot.
Well, have you seen the Juul?
I don't give a shit. I don't want to
What
see.
the hell is the Juul?
You haven't seen this?
It's a
this
vape pen.
No, it's not. It looks like a thumb drive for a computer, and it's got nicotine packed in.
So now we're sucking on thumb drives.
I
Bert.
swear to God, it's what it is. And there's a battery that heats the nicotine and tobacco.
You gotta be kidding me.
I swear to God, kids at Holly's school do it all the time. They walk home smoking their Juuls.
I just
Because the
hate
parents
it.
don't know it. It looks like a
Can't
thumb. It looks
take
like a
it,
memory
man.
card for a computer, so they don't think.
I will kill Lorna if she smokes. I will just punch her in the face. I do not like it. It is filthy. It is, and like I said, they're all in denial. I've never seen anyone just get. I had a smoker once. So here's this guy. He had his chest split open. You know, all this kind of stuff. And the doctor told him, "You got to quit smoking after that." He's like, yeah. So I told him, I go, "Dude, you're gonna die from that." I don't know anyone that's died from cigarettes. I go, "You out of your goddamn mind?"
Did
I'm
you
like,
tell
"There's-
my grandma?
Dude, there's 1,000 people a day dying because of cigarettes. That's because of the cancer. I go, you get the cancer because of cigarettes, you morons. Smokers are the worst people, and I don't care. You could be sitting there right now going like, "Oh, Charles a dick. He doesn't like." I don't like you. You smoke. You're an asshole. I don't care.
And the other thing this is the part I added, and I know Burt's experienced this, is why do the Detroit casinos still let people smoke all over those things?
Dude, I don't know, but you can go to Hollywood down in Toledo.
That's
They don't
what
let
I
them
was gonna say.
smoke.
You can go to Canada, smoke
Canada,
free.
smoke
Yeah,
free.
it's so refreshing. But
Because
the
they can't go
Detroit
10 minutes, Bert, and somehow it's your problem, and it's your problem. It's like, what the? How is this?
Well, you drink. That's what their biggest bitch is always. You drink.
Yeah, but you don't go out at 8 times a day at work and pound a fifth.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing.
Or my drink don't splash you in the face like your smoke is
Yeah.
hitting.
Exactly.
You're walking past, just chuck a drink at someone.
I mean, if I'm doing a sprinkler on a drink, I can see. where
don't
you
like smokers. You're a vile human being if you smoke. I don't know.
The casino thing baffles me. When I'm sitting there trying to play a slot machine, an old lady with
right next to you.
And here's the thing too. So again, I work at the airport, so there's a big ordinance at the airport. You
No
can't
smoking,
smoke
right.
within 25 feet of any door. You'd swear to God, these smokers, like someone
They
just
measured
my
the
God.
footage.
and they get pissed. Like, I can't believe I have to do this. Well, why should I have to walk through your shit? Again, I like to jerk off. I'm not jerking off at people as they're walking by. It's the craziest thing. Like, you have the worst habit that impacts every other person on the planet.
Around you, too.
Yeah. It's the crazy. I hate smokers. I hate you.
Well, they always claim, besides smokers, that us fat people are the next blight on society.
I don't throw cheeseburgers at people walking past me. I don't need to go out 8 times a day and eat a cheeseburger outside and say it's cold.
We're the reason healthcare costs are skyrocketing because we're all fat Americans dying of heart attacks.
I think that those commercials where they're like the truth and all that kind of stuff, where they're giving pieces of their skin and stuff,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, I do that, man.
That lady,
Smokers,
the latest
man.
one, that lady's missing like half her face and her
Great.
shoulder.
You
I'm
need
like,
to see
what
the terror, all that kind of stuff. So I can't play the lotto, but you can smoke. I just can't. I couldn't.
head almost
I was
exploded.
dumbfounded. I was just like,
Are you ready to just kill that lady?
and this lady is like Burt described. She goes out 8 times a day to smoke, and she's got a girlfriend she goes out with 8 times a day, and they come walking back because they're all old people, and they come walking back,
And they reek of it too when they come back in the
Hey,
building.
the clothes.
And then
and they're
try
doing
to put,
customer
like-
service and they
Yeah,
reek of
they
tobacco.
try to put like a Listerine strip in, like that's gonna help. Like, dude, you stink. I hate you, smokers.
Well, that's a good note to end everything. People out there know that we all hate them.
I need a cigarette.
Yeah, I know. Anyone got a stogie? Or Juul, man. Look up Juul when you guys get a chance.
I know, because I don't want to give any traffic to any website that has to deal with that filthy
It's
habit.
kids sucking on thumb drives, I swear. I have to ask.
Worst.
Yeah, they also eat Tide Pods.
That's a good detergent. Let me put that in my
Well,
mouth.
those e-cigarettes have been exploding everywhere.
Good.
All these people have been
I think
using
they need to purposely explode on
them.
people.
Let's limit the herd.
Hate you.
So I'd like to thank our special guest, Burt Nolan.
Okay.
Great.
All right, thanks for being here.
No problem. No
Right
problem.
before Halloween, we had to get you in before then. Of course, my co-host Charles.
Yeah.
And you can catch us at iTunes.com, on Apple iTunes, Google Play, or at the website.
It doesn't work on Steve's phone, though.
Littlepodcast.com. Next week, we're going to have DJ Tony G in the house.
DJ.
So we'll see him next week, and we'll ask a lot of DJ questions. We've seen Scoot Life. Now we're going to see DJ.
Oh, DJ Life.
So until next time, we'll catch you later. This is Fat Guys on a Little Podcast.